Anyone open to do a little seller pitch or buyer pitch with Brian? This will be a great training opportunity.
I'll take buyer or seller, whichever one you want. Do we want to do a seller pitch or a buyer pitch?
Hey
Go ahead.
Brian, how are you?
Pretty good.
Let's go. I'll go with you. I'll do a pitch with you. I'll be a difficult buyer, and I'm buying.
Okay.
I'm looking for
A motel?
what's a hotel? Perfect.
We'll stick with the motels because they've been doing
Motel.
more of those lately.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, I got your. I just received your NDA. I appreciate it. Are you into hotels now?
I'm looking. I grew up in a small business family. My dad has a discount store in Queens. I went to college. I'm out, and now I'm looking to get my own business. And I like hotels because it's a good mix with the property. So I just figured I would reach out.
This one's great for it's really great for an owner operator. The way it's 48 rooms, so it's a good size. It's on about an acre and a half, doing revenues of about $1 million with adjusted net around 480. It would be fantastic for a first-time owner operator.
So you're telling me this one is a 48% profit? I've never seen that before.
Correct. Yep, it is a 48% profit. Half of the revenue is coming from DSS. Half the revenue is coming from tourists. On the DSS side, you have no marketing involved, so it's, you can have challenging clients a bit,
but doesn't that make the hotel look bad? I don't want something like that. I want something that's brand new that I can make 48% on. Does that make the rooms messed up from the DSS?
This hotel is 2.5 stories, so it's 3 stories. If it's officially a 3-story, it needs an elevator. So there is no elevator. It's 2.5 stories. They keep the DSFs up on the 3rd floor, so it separates people well. And during peak season, they don't do a lot of DSS, depending on the time of year. So in the winter, you're going to find out that they're doing more and more DSS. In the summer, they do more and more tourists. So once that the summer period comes, you may need to put a coat of paint on the rooms upstairs. It's pretty, as long as you're handling the DSS clients in a strict manner, it really hasn't been a problem.
Okay.
In fact, we sold the hotel that was next door to this one back in January. The one next door is 100% DSS. Doesn't have any tourists at all. It's a smaller one. It's 22 rooms. And the way that one works is he only rents to single men. He will not rent to families, and it keeps the issues to a minimum.
That makes sense. Now, is the price negotiable? Because I have about $1.5 million, and I only want to put that down.
Well,
Can I get a loan on this?
This one will be you can do seller financing for a significant portion of it. So the ask on it is $3.5 million. So it's 3.5 times revenue. And with $1 million down, we will seller finance the balance.
And what kind of loan payment would the owner give? What kind of terms?
20 years at 6.75%.
Okay.
It will be well below bank. Well below SBA. SBA, you'd be right around 11 right now, and even on a bank, you're going to be at 8.5.
Okay, this is definitely interesting. What are next steps?
Well, you mentioned you have $1.5 million down. I need to see some sort of proof of funds. Once I saw the proof of funds, then I can send you all the financials. The financials here are quite clean, and since this is a flagged motel, you'll have the property reports, which is the software that they use for the franchises themselves. So the data is very, very clean, and I can present you with all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. I can get you a proof of funds, but it's from my dad. Is that okay?
Your dad is fine, and we can have a conversation with you and your dad anytime.
Yeah, he has real estate. What he'll do is he'll take a HELOC on the house. We have equity in the house. We have about $600,000 in cash. Is that okay?
As long as the cash is put down for the hotel itself, it's not coming from a bank, and so therefore, if you're coming from a HELOC, obviously that's not attached to the hotel itself. It's not a problem at all. So if there's $1 million in cash that is unencumbered, then the seller is willing to do the loan up to $2.5 million, but it's got to be first lien. So yes, that works out perfectly.
Now, say I wanted to go SBA route and put down 10 to 15%. Is that something that I can do?
It's something you can do, but honestly, there's been a lot of interest in it. The owner doesn't want to have that long of a delay on SBA. You'd be welcome to submit some paper, and the owner would consider. But there's a lot of people that have looked at the motel, and with the seller financing setup, it's super advantageous to be doing that. It does require more money down, but you're talking about your interest rate at 6.75% is about 5 points below where it's going to be on SBA. So, and SBA, you're going to do most likely here a 10-year, although you could potentially do a 25 on a 504 with it. But timing-wise, the SBA is going to add probably an extra 60 days to it. Since you have seller financing,
my lender can do it in 30 days. My lender can do it in 30 days.
No, he can't. SBA cannot be done in 30 days.
That's what he tells me.
Okay. Well, you mentioned you haven't done purchase a property before. In SBA, will take 60 days.
My dad told me that.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's very, we would move things along as quickly as possible, assuming that the offer was accepted by the seller. but realistically, it's 60 days on SBA.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to my dad and I'll get right back to you.
Sounds good. And as soon as I get the proof of funds, I'll send you over all the information.
All right, perfect.
Thanks.
Now I'm gonna call you back with my dad on the phone.
Okay.
Hi, how are you? I have my dad on the phone. How you doing?
Hi there. Very nice to meet you, Mr. Smith. This is
Hey,
Brian.
how are you? How you doing?
Great, great. Very nice to meet you. Appreciate it. How can I help?
Yeah, we looked at the hotel and it's something of interest for sure. You know, my son told me there's DSS and 48 rooms and would the guy say 2.5?
It's 3.5.
I know, but was he negotiable if I give him a little green?
No, there is room for negotiating on it, but we have offers. We have multiple offers right now with a 3 handle currently on it. So the 2.5 would not be able to honestly be presented.
Listen, I like the hotel. I don't want a bidding war. Could I meet with the owner tomorrow?
I'd have to see the proof of funds first, and then we have the first step. We'd have a conversation with the owner over the phone.
Okay, I could send you my address. You could see my house. I could show you my mortgage.
Sure, showing me the mortgage and the availability, get a HELOC on it would be helpful. Absolutely.
Okay.
And the owner is very, very straightforward. Any questions you have, we have all the data now. It's a very clean deal.
Okay.
And again, with the seller financing aspect of it, it could actually close in 30 days or less for the right buyer, which is again the reason why he's so against SBA.
Okay. Okay. What's the franchise like? How many years left?
There are 15 years left on the flag. The PIP is virtually fully paid. It will be fully paid before sale. The current owner will take care of the entire PIP. Now, granted, you'll have to have a conversation with us because they'll have to approve you as a franchisee, and there always could be an additional PIP from. But this PIP is recent, so realistically, you probably won't have an additional PIP, with the exception of they could always request new mattresses or things like that. So it's potential
Well, the
that they'll
PIP is
ask
on the
for
seller, right? The PIP is usually on the seller if I come in with the offer.
the PIP that is currently existing is on the seller. A new PIP that is requested by the franchisor after you speak with them, that would be on you. But realistically, it will be a minimal to no PIP since this recent PIP from the seller is new.
I like this deal. I don't want to lose it. I'm willing to negotiate. Let's do 3 million and take. So let's just take it off the market. Can we do that?
Well, right now you'd have to send me some paper on it, and as I mentioned, we have multiple offers right now with the 3 handle already. So we'd have to show the offer to the seller. And right now there's 2 people looking at the property on a non-exclusive basis, and the first one who completes due diligence and is happy with everything, puts down a non-refundable deposit, will be the one who wins.
And Brian, is that true? Just so everyone on the call hears, is that you really have those 2 people?
Correct. I always like to have multiple people.
If you didn't have those 2 people, would you tell them that you have 2 people?
No.
Or would you just okay?
I would phrase it differently, that multiple people looking at it and things like that. Example, for the person who purchased the who actually closed it yesterday. We had an offer almost instantly on it at $3 million and change, but we set it up so that it was a non-exclusive offer, so we had other people looking at it. Other people looking at it at the same time. The person who bought it now kept bugging me on it. When I got the feeling that the first buyer was going to drop out, the day that he dropped out, we were able to submit a offer for $100,000 more from the new buyer. So the transition for the seller was super smooth on it. The day that we lost the first offer, we submitted a second offer to him that was $100,000 higher.
Very cool. I think that was a good call. I'll end it there then.
Yeah, and if you notice though, you're gonna be conversational with the buyer, but you're not gonna be bullied by the buyer either. If the buyer wanted, a $2.5 million, take it off the market, or cash green, whatever. In this particular deal that was just purchased, there may or may not have been $100,000 in a brown bag on the deal. Maybe, maybe not. And I'm not opposed to having that. Whatever the buyer and seller works out is fine with me, as long as I'm involved in every step of the way.
Yeah, and you controlled the whole conversation. That was amazing. That's the main thing in this business, is controlling, everything you do.
Oh, and in a polite manner. I mean, I stepped over you a little bit on the dad call, which I maybe shouldn't have done as much. But if you understand the deal, you're going to be confident in the deal. You can talk about anything, as you talk about any subject that you know about.
Yeah,
you're talking about it with confidence.
Yeah, and you created urgency. So I think that was a great call.
Well, now we just need to get the wire on that one, and that'll be a nice transaction. And we can talk about that transaction a little bit for a second. We had a 10% commission on it. This is the one that I tried. We had 2 of them we were trying to close at the same time. The lawyers wanted to push it back till mid to late June. We got that one closed on May 17th or 22nd, whatever it was. This one, we were trying to get closed in the same period, and we couldn't. The seller's lawyer went away for 2 weeks. They were having trouble getting the survey done. So while that seller's lawyer was away, I was trying to keep everybody happy. I offered the buyers, out of our commission, we were going to give back the buyers $1,000 a day, so that they were going to feel like they had the ownership of the motels from June 1st on. And the seller got to continue running the motel and got to continue to get the profits from it. So we did that, and on that PIP that was left, there was one aspect that was a little sidewalk that the buyers felt was going to cost cost 5,000. The seller thought he could do it for 500. The buyer didn't want it to be done cheaply because they figured, it could be destroyed quickly. So I offered the buyer, say, hey, okay, let's do it your way at 5,000. You handle it so the seller doesn't have to handle it at all. I'm going to kick in 3,000 of the 5 towards the credit off the commission again. And so we ended up giving them a credit. It closed yesterday. We credited them back 19,000. We had a 10% commission on the $3+ million deal, so we had plenty of room to work with. We ended up netting as a commission 8.4% on it, and that actually should move up to about 9.3 a month from now. The advantage when you have that 10% commission is it gives you so many levers of things you can play with, and the buyers were thrilled because the pitch is, I'm going to give you $1,000 a day out of my pocket, out of my commission. I want you guys to be happy. I want the buyer to be happy, the seller happy. That's my focus, so I don't mind doing it. I'll get pushback from the buyer saying, hey, it should have come out of your pocket, it should come out of the seller's pocket. We'll have a conversation. It'll stay out of my pocket, but it keeps everybody happy. But if I only had a 6% commission in there, I may not have had the room to do that.
Yeah, I mean, when everyone wins, it's either everyone wins or everyone loses.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, everyone won.
Yeah, and the buyer's already trying to buy something else.
Yeah, now you have the leverage, you have the relationship. Just for an example, your other deal, the one that you closed with Jake, the car wash.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship's there. You and Jake maintain that relationship. Now they're buying another business from you, buyer and seller together.
Yeah, honestly, that's how we're getting a lot of our listings too, is through that relationship side. We gave a nice chunk to the seller who sold the initial hotel in January. We charged him, it was a 10% commission. We got the full 10%. It was 1.6 million. So he paid 160 grand in commission on it. My goal is to get him his commission back through the referral fees. And with I'll be halfway there.
There's deals where I had to give landlords commissions on deals. You got to strategically move. It comes with experience, though.
Yeah, and then speaking of on same deal. It was a 10% commission. When all was said and done, I think we ended up at 8.7% as a net commission. I gave 1% back to the seller. The seller didn't want to give on anything. I paid for a few things on the repairs on the hotel and little stuff here and there. So keeping everybody happy, and you get the text right after that they're happy and looking to do another one, hopefully.
Yeah, it was a good deal. This one was a good deal too. These deals are people's salaries in one deal. So everyone who's on the call, anything's possible here. Brian's killing it right now.
Well, we've gotten lucky that we had very good structure from the sellers. But on all 3 of these motels, they had been up for sale for a while within the community and hadn't been sold. And we sold them at a higher price than the ask that they had then. So that's why we were able to justify our commissions too.
Yep. Well, great stuff. I appreciate you taking the lead, Brian.